Stuart, I'd like to ask you about chair maintenance, if I may.
Sure.
How long should a chair last for?
Oh, it rather depends on the specification and how it's built. It depends on the quality of components, really. I mean, if a chair is quite a low price chair, and therefore the foam is not as good a quality, the general mechanism, the quality of the mechanism which does the adjustments isn't as good, then a chair won't last as long. Obviously, it's partly down to the amount of time that people are sitting on the chair, their size relative to the chair. If it's a very small chair, but they're quite big in terms of size, whether it be height or weight, then again, the chair won't last as long as it was designed to. All I would say about that is that our chairs come with a 5-year component guarantee, so that we will replace any component that goes faulty within a 5-year period. If something else fails, we can look to repair that, and that may be a free of charge replacement or repair, or it might be something that's chargeable depending on how that damage came about. But there is no perfect answer to that question. It really just depends on the scenario and something going on with the chair.
So, can users make their chairs last even longer?
They can. I mean, in terms of maintenance, same with seating and desking. Obviously, you've got the ability to tighten bolts. The mechanism is attached with bolts underneath the seat. It's mostly just a Phillips screwdriver that you need, but you should tighten the arms. If you've got an executive chair, you should tighten the arms to both the back of the seat, because that's what basically holds the chair together. So just making sure that all the nuts and bolts are as tight as possible is definitely something to do. If something happens to the wheels on the chair, you can get replacement wheels, but certainly after every sort of 3-6 months, if you've got a chair, you should double check that the bolts are tight, because clearly if you're sitting on a chair and you're moving and it's rocking and there's momentum within the components, over a period of time, like with anything else, the bolts will come loose. And clearly if the bolts become loose, if with body weight over a period of time, irrespective of whose chair it is, they will come loose. So if you tighten them, it means that the chair will last longer and last for as long as possible.
So you're saying it needs regular maintenance, a chair?
The chair does need regular maintenance, absolutely. We quite often go into premises where, basically the chair's not had anything done to it since it came out of the box. And that is a reason why a lot of chairs fail. You see chairs with the backs half hanging off, and you see that the paddles are broken, and people sit on some very sort of unsatisfactory, almost unsafe kind of seats. And if they'd been looked after that a little bit better, if they had the bolts tightened, if also the user knew exactly how to use the chair, then potentially those chairs would last longer.
Okay. How hard wearing are the fabrics on the chairs? And what's this rub test I keep reading about?
Rub test. Well, basically, a rub test is a machine. The chairs often get sent out to testing facilities where there's a machine that just time after time after time rubs against the fabric, and so that's called a rub test, and it's called a Martindale rub test. And so each fabric is graded on how long it takes for the fabric to wear through. Now, the fabrics that we offer sort of start at 60,000 rubs and go up to anything like 250,000 rubs for 24/7 sort of tested fabrics. So even the 60,000 rub fabric, if you imagine having to get on and off a chair 60,000 times, and you wouldn't be necessarily sitting on it and abrading it in the way that a machine would, you've got an awful lot of usage before the fabric will give in. So each fabric range has that rub test. And we have swatch cards for each fabric range that we sell, so that you can ask for one of those before you order, or you can ask for one of them after you order if you want. You can see what the rub test is like, how long that will last, this reaction to sort of colour, light fastness is, as you would have in sort of clothing, and also you can see how to clean the fabric as well.
You mentioned cleaning there, Stuart. You can get the fabric and leather cleaning?
You can. I mean, basically, the swatch card has a lot of information about that sort of thing. So as long as we know what the fabric type is, we can make suggestions as to how you would clean it. But as a rule, on fabrics, warm, soapy water, so it's got to be clean water, clean cloth. You can dampen the space that's covered in any kind of mark. Clearly, if you get a lot of something on it, whether you spill coffee or something like that on it, it's going to be almost impossible to get the fabric clean. But there are ways and means of improving what the chair looks like. When it comes to leather, again, warm soapy water, obviously not with lots of detergent in it, because you don't want a chemical to damage the fabric, but as a principle, sort of warm soapy water will work, and that will get small marks clean.
Well, what is it? Beyond cleaning, can chairs be reupholstered? Or?
It's a combination. It depends on which factory we bought the chair from. If you really badly damage a seat, we can quite often replace the complete seat. So in terms of an upholstery service, we don't purely offer an upholstery service in terms of the chair going back to the factory and us putting a new cover on it. But with Haag, who are one of our main suppliers, which is a Norwegian company, on all the Haag chairs, pretty much every chair that we sell as a distributor for them can have replacement covers bought. So, you can get a replacement seat, you can get a replacement back. You might decide that you've got, a blue chair now, but you'd like a black chair in the future. You can completely change the covers on those types of chairs. So, in terms of a pure reupholstery service, no. But certain items we can get replacement parts, or we can get, complete new covers.
What parts can be replaced?
Well, we can replace the casters, you can replace the base, you can replace the gas lift. All our gas lifts come with a lifetime guarantee, so should the gas fail during the process of using the chair, we can send a replacement gas lift out, so that's not a problem. So all those would be very simple sort of replacements that we could just send out to a customer, and they could replace themselves. The arms can be replaced, or you can choose to have arms or no arms, or if you decided at a later date you wanted to have arms, that's fine. Outside that, as I say, if something is damaged, it might be possible to get a replacement seat, a replacement back, or if the fabric is damaged, then we can send out new covers in the case of Haag. So there's a number of scenarios. It might be that you move house and you have standard casters on the chair now, but you go to an environment where you have a wood floor, so we can change the casters to wood floor casters, so that will create less damage in that kind of scenario. So you can tailor a few things after the event. You can add arms, as we said, if you didn't have arms already, and so there's quite a lot of options when it comes to that.
Okay. A topic which is in the news now. How green are your chairs?
Well, to be honest, most chairs that are in the marketplace now have some elements of recycled materials. When it comes to the casters and when it comes to the bases, they have an element of recycled plastics in those. In terms of what we do ourselves, we recycle boxes wherever we can. We don't just skip boxes that we send out or come back to us or send out. So there's recycled paper elements of a lot of the cardboard that we use. There's recycled plastics. There's on the Haag range of chairs, they consider themselves a very green company, where a number of the plastics in their range are either made from old tomato ketchup bottles, or and we can supply information on the amount of recycled content in the chairs that we supply, particularly on the Haag chairs, because they're both a very ergonomic based company and also a very environmentally friendly company.
Okay, can you dispose of unwanted chairs?
In theory, that's possible, but ultimately, what that has to go to is trade waste. It has to go to landfill, and to be honest, that is not something that we offer as a service.
So, with regards to guarantees, you do offer them. Are they with you, or are they with the manufacturer?
They're actually with the manufacturer. Basically, the way it would work is if you have a problem, come to us as the distributor of the chairs, but it's actually the manufacturer that offer us the warranty, which is then what we pass on to the customer. So they would honour that warranty with the distributor. Obviously, if you know that you bought the chair from us, if it was a Haag chair, they offer a 10-year component warranty on their chairs, whereas all the other chairs that we sell has a 5-year warranty on it. And if certain things go wrong, then they're easily replaceable, like casters or the gas or the base or perhaps the arm. If something more fundamental happens, then we would either repair on site, which is something we can offer depending on what's wrong, or we'd actually collect the chair, take it back to the factory, offer a replacement to a chair so that you're not left without a chair. It would be repaired at the factory and then swap back over. So one of the key things to our service in terms of warranty is that we don't leave the customer without an item in the meantime when it's being repaired. So it is a manufacturing warranty.
Do you offer written guarantees then for that?
The written guarantee at this stage consists of the invoice, basically. It gives you the date of purchase of the item, and if you were to go back to the invoice and say when we bought the chair, and we'd also obviously have records of when you purchased an item for us, because we keep our records for a number of years. If you were to buy the item from us and we knew when it was purchased, then we would honour the warranty regarding casters and all those other things. If something went wrong with the chair during the warranty period, if it was something outside a standard component, we would either repair on site, which we would do, or we would take the chair away, offering you a replacement just to cover you until that comes back to you once repaired, and then we swap those over. So, warranties is a very important part of our business, and we like to think that we offer as good a level of service as we can on that.